Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use the function called make underscore interval in PySpark. On same topic, I already made one video. For continuation of that, I'm making one more video on this topic. So this function is used to create an interval data type by using the columns like years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. And this function is available from Spark version 3.5 onwards. And this is the syntax make underscore interval, and we need to pass these arguments. So years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So we need to pass in this format. So this is the correct way of ordering the arguments. So first I'm importing the required functions here. So mainly make underscore interval and few other functions. So my first scenario is to create an interval from these columns. So years, months, week, days, hour, minute, and second columns. So for this, first I'm creating one sample data frame. So for creating single row, I'm using spark.range1. And on top of this data frame, I'm using select method. And in select method, I'm using make underscore interval function. So this is belong to first make underscore interval. So that means here I'm creating two columns. This is one column that is interval underscore value. And from here to here, this is one column. So that is interval underscore null. And here one more column. So that is interval underscore null. Okay, so three new columns I'm adding to this particular data frame by using make underscore interval. So in first column, what I'm doing, interval underscore value. So that means here I'm passing all the arguments. And if you see here, first lit one, so one means this year belongs to years and months. Second one is months. And third one is it is belongs to weeks. So three means here 3 weeks. That means 7 into 3, 21 days. And fourth one belongs to days. So these 21 days plus these 4 days, it will add here. So total will get 25 days and hours, minutes, seconds. So by using this function, it will get add this particular column interval underscore value. If you see here, this one. So here it adding, if you see the values. So first one is years. So 1 years, 2 months. See here, 1 year, 2 months. And if you calculate these weeks and days, total it will be 25 days. And this is 5 hours, 6 minutes, 5 hours, 6 minutes, and 7.123 seconds. So this is about first column. So interval underscore value. And one more column creating by using this make underscore interval. So here, one particular argument I'm passing as none. This seconds I'm passing as none. So what it does is it will give you the output as null. Even one single argument, if you have null value, then your output will be null. And third column is interval underscore null. So this is I'm passing empty here. So 0 arguments. So what will get output here is okay, I think here I'm not mentioned. So if you don't pass any arguments, so we will get 0 seconds because we are not passing any arguments here. Next, second one is create an interval from a column in data frame. So that means I already have one data frame. That means here I'm by using spark.create data frame, I'm creating one data frame that is with days and minutes. So my initial data frame is this one with the days, minutes, and single value I'm passing here 1, 15. Now on top of this data frame, I'm using select, and first I'm calling these two columns, that is days and minutes, and here I'm using make underscore interval. So this whole thing will generate one column here. So make underscore interval, and here I'm passing first days equal to df2 of days. That means from this data frame, I'm passing this days. So that is 1 days. And the second argument is minutes. So minutes equal to df2 of minutes, df2 of minutes. And if you see here minutes is 15. So we will get 1 days, 15 minutes. And my column name is days underscore minutes underscore interval. And if you observe here and here, so here we are not mentioning anything like here we mentioned like days equal to minutes equal to, but here we are not passing anything. So that means by default, make underscore interval function, it assumes that this is the format one by one, year, months, weeks, days. So if you want to mention specific things, you can mention like this, days equal to or minutes equal to, like this we can mention. And next I'm creating one more sample data frame, spark.create data frame. I'm passing single value, that means single row, but here I'm passing 4 columns. So year, months, weeks, and days. So year, months, days. So all these values I'm passing here. And what I'll get output here is, so df3 dot select, that means on top of this data frame, select, and I'm selecting all the columns here, all these columns. And finally, I'm using try underscore make interval. And this one, inside this, I'm passing the arguments, years, months, weeks, days. So you can directly mention years, or you can mention like this also, df3 dot years, df3 dot months, df3 dot weeks, df3 dot days. So either you can mention like this, days equal to like this, or you can mention like this also. So different ways we can pass these arguments. So now what we'll get is, first one is years, so 5 years, and second one is months, so 2 months, and third one is weeks. So how many weeks? 30. 30 weeks means if you convert into days, 30 into 7. So 210 days, and this one is days. So 210 plus 10 will get 220 days. And why I'm using here, instead of make underscore interval, I'm using try underscore make interval. So why I'm using here is, if any error is causing, then we can use this one. Okay. So what it help is, suppose if you start with using make underscore interval, and if you are getting any error like data type mismatch error, something like that, then you can use this one, try underscore make underscore interval function. So next one is, I'm creating one more sample data frame. So now I'm passing all the arguments here with single row. So here I'm passing all the arguments, and with these arguments, first it will create a data frame. So I think I'm not displaying here. What I'll do, first I'll try to display the data frame. So if I try to rerun this one, now 2 data frames it will show here. So first one is sample data frame. So that is with all columns, year, months, weeks, days, hour, minute, second. And for that we are passing these values. So that is this one, initial data frame. And on top of this data frame, I'm using select, and I'm adding these many columns here. Total 7 columns I'm adding here. So what is my first column is interval underscore 01, or you can say interval. So interval full. So interval full means, so because I'm passing all the arguments here. And if you see from your input column, so this is 10. So 10 years we are getting. This is 11 months. So 11 months we are getting. And here 1 week. 1 week means 7 into 1, 7 days and plus 1 day. So total 8 days will get, and 12 hours 30 minutes. 12 hours 30 minutes, 1.000101 seconds. Okay, so this is about first column. That means interval underscore full. So here what I'm doing, in this column, I'm excluding this second. So what I'll do here, I will mention second. So now what will happen? Since I'm excluding second, what output I will get is, from this output, it will exclude these seconds. We'll get only up to here, up to minutes only we'll get. See here, up to minutes we'll get. And in third column, what I'm doing, here I'm removing both minute and seconds. So this name I will change minute second. So now what will happen? This third column from this output, or you can say from this output, it will exclude minutes and seconds. These two will go. What will get? 10 years, 11 months, 8 days, 12 hours. So we'll get only this much will get. And similar way, if you go for this particular column, here what is there? Up to day is there. That means we are excluding these three parameters. So that means here I will write interval time. So now what will happen? This time portion, whole thing will go off. And that means even this hours also will go off. We'll get only these three: year, months, days. So year, months, days will get. And next column is, so here now we are excluding this day also. So here what I'm doing, time, day. Now what will happen? We will get only year, month, and day. Week means it will convert to days. So here we'll get only week. That means 7 days. If you see in previous case here, previous column, 10 years, 11 months, 8 days. How we are getting this 1 week plus 1 day. Now we are passing only these three arguments. So 10 years, 11 months, 7 days. Okay. So only up to here we'll get. Next, here I'm passing only year, month. So what I'll do, I will mention only year, month. So now I will get only year and month only. So that is 10 years, 11 months. So 10 years, 11 months. So next, what I'm doing, here I'm passing only year. So if I pass only here, what I will get? Oh, I will get only 10 years. So here I will get only 10 years. Now I'll try to rerun this one. Now these column names will get updated. Okay. So now my third scenario is how to handle potential errors with try underscore make underscore interval. So that means if invalid inputs might occur, then use a try underscore make underscore interval, which returns null instead of raising an error. So sometimes if your input is having any bound, out of bound, that time if you use make underscore interval function, it will throw you error. So to avoid those errors, we can use this function. So here what I will do is same thing. First I will try to use with make underscore interval function. We'll see what error we'll get. So this is a df4 dot select. I'm using this function. So I'll try to run this one. So here we are getting output. So this is 100 years and this is months, 4 months. We passed as 100 and first we are creating the data frame and after that I'm using select and I'm calling this years and months and I'm using make underscore interval and inside interval I'm passing these two arguments. So these months and years and months and I given alias as interval year months and here what happening 100 days 100 years and if you see here this 100 is converted into that means months, no, 100 months. So this 100 months is converted into years. So how it is converted is 100 if you convert per year 12 months. So 100 by 12. So 100 by 12. So if you do that, so we'll get this one. So here 8 years will get add. So that means 8 into 12. Suppose if I open calculator 8 into 12. So calculator. Okay. So here what will happen? First 100 by so 100 by 12 I will do. What I will get 8.33. So that means 80 years. So if you round off this one, 4 months we are getting. So this 8 years it is adding to this year's 100. So 100 plus 8, 108 years and remaining these 4 months, this round off we are getting as 4 months. Okay, so this particular example, it is working even with make underscore interval function. So sometimes if you pass any invalid out of bound values, sometimes you'll get error. So like this one. So it will raise an error. So in those cases, you can use this one. Try make interval. Okay, so what I will do here is I will add some example in this notebook. So for which scenario we'll get error by using this make underscore interval function. I will add in this video in this particular notebook, and this notebook I will add in this video description area. I will add you GitHub link. So there you can check that example. Okay, so next example is here I'm creating one sample data frame with all the arguments and with a number of rows. And by using spark.create data frame, this data, this data. So this data I'm passing here and my column names are here. Year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So here I'm not added week here. So now we'll see how it will generate. See here all these columns and all this data here passed here. Now the data frame is created. On top of this, what I'm doing here, I'm using with column, and in with column, I'm using this make underscore interval function. And here I'm passing year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So except week, I'm passing all the arguments. So now what will happen? If you see this particular row, see except year, remaining all zeros. So we'll get output as 1 year. And if you see second row, except month, remaining all zero. So what we'll get? 1 month will get. And similar way, if you see here, even though I mentioned column name as day, it will consider as week. Why? Because the make underscore interval function will follow the order: year, months, week, days, hour, minute, second. So even though I mentioned column name as a day, it considered as week. So uh, since it is week, so 1 week means 7 into 1 will get 7 days. And if you see this particular row, 1 means 1 year, 1 year, 8 means 8 months. So we'll get 1 year's 8 months. So because remaining all zero. And if you come to this particular row, here it is 1 year's 5 months, and this 25. So 25 means weeks. So 25 into 7 will get 175 days. And for this particular row, so here only hour is given. So 23 uh, hour. Oh, okay. So whatever I given, columns order is different. That means column names are wrong, because year, month, this Spark by default it considered as week, not day. And next thing is this one, fourth one, by default it considered as, if you see here, this one, it default it considered as days, not hours. And one more is, if you see here, since it is days, 23 days it printing. And if you see here, 45 hours. So that means this is not minute, this is hours. So 45 hours it printing. And one more is here, last one is given. So that is minutes, not seconds. So minutes. So what is the final one is 58 minutes. So that is 58 minutes. And the last one, I passed all the values. And if you see this one means 1 year, 10 months, 1 year, 10 months. And this 25 is weeks. 25 into 7, what we got? 175 days plus 22 days. So 175 plus 22, 197 days will get 197 days. And then this is hour minutes. So 45 hours, 55 minutes here. So what I will do, I will add one more column, seconds. I will add one more column, seconds, and in data frame also I will add, I will change this order. I will mention week and hour, minute, seconds. Okay. So, but still we need values for seconds. So what I'll do, I will add value for seconds here. First one is 0. So here also I will add 0, and here also 0, here also 0, and here also 0, and here also 0, here also 0, here also 0, and I will add one row for seconds. So here seconds, I will mention around 59 seconds. I will remove this minutes. I will mention 0. So now if I try to rerun this one, now we'll see here, we'll get week also, and latest row also will get update. So expected axis has 7 element, new values have 6 elements. So here also I need to update the seconds. I will add 47 seconds. Okay, so now you are getting all the things. So minutes, week. So what I did change, I added only seconds values here and one row added for second. And if you update here, same thing will get updated. So whatever year, month, week, what it telling? Parameter with days cannot be resolved. Okay, here what I given day. So I'll change to day here, and hours, minutes, what I given, hour, minute, second. Instead of that, what I will give, I will change to this one, years, months, this is weeks, and hours, minutes, seconds. I will rerun this one. So on top of this, I will change here, years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. Still days. Okay, days. Still I given day here. I'll change this also. Okay, so your result will be same. Your result will be same. Only few changes, like here I added one row, that is for seconds I added here. So we'll get 59 seconds. And on top of that, here compared to earlier, it will add the seconds because I added this value 47. It will get these 47 seconds will get added. Okay, so next, add interval to timestamp value. Suppose I want to add 1 month to current timestamp. So first what I'm doing, I'm creating the data frame by using spark.create data frame. Instead of data, what I'm passing here is this one, a list of tuple I'm passing here. So either you can define outside or you can define here also, no problem. If I try to rerun this one. Okay, so what it generating? First, initially, single row it created. On top of that, I'm using select function. And inside select function, I'm using this function, make underscore interval to, to generate the column. The column name is interval underscore value. So we know that sequence. So 1 means 1 years we are getting. This 2 means 2 months we are getting. And this one 5, lit 5 means 7 into 5, 35 days, 7 into 7 into 5, 35, and plus this one 10, total 45 days we are getting. And if I update this one, okay, so these two become what, 7 into 5, 35, 10 plus 10, so 45 days. And this is 30 is minutes. What I'll do, I will add here hour. I will add hours as 12. Okay, so if I rerun this one, it will get update now. So we saw up to 45 days. Now added here this one, 12 hours, 30 minutes, 20 seconds. Here, 30 minutes, 20 seconds. So next is, here I'm using spark.range one. to generate single row. On top of that, using select function. So inside select function, I'm passing current underscore timestamp. So alias name is current underscore time. That is this one. So that means I'm printing true current timestamp value here. So what is current timestamp? 2026 317, and this is the time here. Now on top of this, what I'm doing, current underscore timestamp. For this, I'm adding some values here by using make underscore interval, and inside that I'm passing these values. So here, except second one, remaining all zeros. So that means this is years and this is months. This is months. So for existing timestamp, I'm adding 1 month. So here month is 3. So 3 plus 1, it becoming 4. Next, so column name is after 1 month. Suppose I want to print before uh, 1 year, 6 months. That means before 1.5 year. For current timestamp, for that make underscore interval. So since I want 1.5 year before, I'm passing negative value. So lit -1 means -1 years. So that means for this timestamp value, it will do -1. That means it become 2024, 24, and we'll see why it coming to 24 here. It's supposed to. So here lit is -1 and -6. So here 2026, 3 is there. So minus 6 months. That means 1 year, 6 months. If you do minus, it will become -1 means that means 1 year. 2025, 3 will become. Again, if you do -6 months, it will go to 2024 and ninth month will come. So if you do -1.5 year. And at, I will show you one thing in this notebook. I'm not added here. One basic point I forgot to mention here. And if you see here, this is the parameters. So that means arguments. So in this make underscore interval function, we need to pass these arguments, and each argument, see here, number of years, number of months, number of weeks, number of days, number of hours, minutes, seconds, all these values we can pass either positive or negative. Okay, so here I created this function by using negative values. Here, negative values. So that means, yeah, under make underscore interval function, we can pass either positive or negative values. So next scenario is subtract interval from date. Suppose I want to subtract 7 days. So then what we can do? Suppose spark dot range one. That means I'm creating single row. On top of that, I'm using select function. So here I'm printing current date. So current date means today's date. I given alias as today. So what will happen? It will print today's date, that is 2026 317. And for that, what I'm doing, I'm creating one more column. Here, what I'm doing, current underscore date. For this current date, I'm doing minus. What I'm doing, make underscore interval. And inside that, I'm passing these arguments. So here, so first is years, months, weeks, then this is days. So 7 days, uh, I'm doing minus for current value, current date. So now this 17 become 10 days. So next, how to calculate deadline of 2 days, 4 hours. So same thing, sample data frame I'm creating, and on top of that, current underscore timestamp. So earlier I used current underscore date. Here I'm using current underscore timestamp. That is today's timestamp value. And on top of that, what I'm doing for our today's current timestamp, I'm adding the value by using make underscore interval function. So years is 0, months is 0, weeks is 0, and here this is 2 days, 2 days, 4 hours. So 2 days, 4 hours I'm adding. And if you see here, this 2 days means this 17 become 19. And we are adding since 4 hours. This 19 is becoming 23. This 19 hours becoming 23 hours. So next one is using columns instead of literals. So here we can use both combination for using the make underscore interval function. So this is my sample data frame I'm creating here. On top of that, I'm using select function and here make underscore interval function. So here, as of now, we saw either we passed the all as numbers or all as lit numbers. So here what I'm doing combinations. So years, months, that means column names I'm passing. First three I'm passing as column names and remaining three I'm passing as literal functions. So literal values. So now what will happen? So first one is years. So this years, it will go to this existing data frame. So for first row, what will happen? So here what I will do, I will mention star. So it will be easy to understand. See here, this is our input columns that is created by this data frame. I will do one more thing. I will display this data frame also, df3. So what will happen? Our initial sample data frame, it will display first. That is this one. And on top of that, I'm using this make underscore interval function to generate this column, dynamic underscore interval. So here what I did, years, months, date. So here, year, months, days. So that means 1 year, 2 months. Here is 5 days is there. And 5 days means this is not days, weeks. So 7 into 5, 35 days will get. And same here. Here is we have 0 years, months is 1, and here weeks is 10. So we'll get 1 month, 7 into 10, 70 days will get. Okay, so that's all about this video on how to use make underscore interval function in PySpark. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use the function make underscore interval in PySpark. So this function is used to create an internal data type, interval data type from individual components like years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So this function is available from Spark version 3.5 onwards. So before going this, I will go for syntax. The syntax is make underscore interval, and inside that we need to pass these arguments like years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. And we have to follow this order. So this is the correct order while passing the arguments. So make underscore interval, years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds. Now, if you come to this point, unspecified arguments are defaulted to 0. So that means these are all the arguments. Suppose in case if I'm not specified this particular argument, I'm not defined means, then it is defaulted to 0. In case if I'm not provided any arguments, the result is an interval with 0 seconds. That means inside make underscore interval function, so I'm not passed any of the argument. So this argument portion is empty. Then my output will be interval with 0 seconds. So now we'll see each and every argument here. So here we have this many arguments. So all arguments we can pass in the form of number. either positive or negative value. Suppose years means number of years in positive or negative. Months, number of months, positive or negative. So number of weeks, number of days, number of hours, minutes, seconds. And after applying this function, what will get output is it will generate one new column that contains an interval. So next, I'm importing the required functions here from SQL.functions. So mainly make underscore interval and expression and to underscore date to convert string data type to date data type. So my first scenario is create an interval from years, months, and days. So whenever we defining argument, so as we see here, this is the order, correct order we need to follow. So as per this, if you see in this syntax, the first argument, suppose if you're defining lit1, then first one belongs to years and second one belongs to months. And if you come to third one, lit3, this specifies weeks. So weeks, when it displaying the result, it won't display like weeks, number of weeks. Instead, it will convert to days, number of days. So that means 7 into 3. 7 into 3 weeks, it will become 21 days. At the same time, after this one, if you mention lit 4, this belongs to days. But since already here date is converted, this weeks is converted into days, 21 days, and it will add this days also here. This 21 days plus 4, total 25 days. And lit 5, this belongs to hours, minutes, and seconds. So this can be either integer value or this can be decimal value. So here only catch up is these 2 points we need to keep in mind. So week and days. So now first I will go for one example. So here I'm creating one sample data frame. First what I'm doing, I'm creating data frame with single row by using spark.range1. And on top of that, I'm using with column method and my new column name is interval, that is this one. And here I'm using make underscore interval function, and inside that I'm passing these arguments. And if you see this one, what it means is create an interval from 1 year, 2 months, and 3 days. So here we have 4 arguments, but here I'm telling that 1 year, 2 months, and 3 days. Why? Because this is lit 0. So this belongs to week. So here week, number of weeks is 0. That means if you convert to days, number of days will become 0. And if you see the order, so first one is years, that is this one is years, and second one is months, and third one is this lit 0, this is weeks, and if you do 7 into 0, that is 0, and fourth one is days, so that is this one, days. Since this 0 plus 3, it will become 3 days. And if you see here, this make underscore interval function, it will print like this. So this 1, that is 1 years, and this 2 is 2 months, and since we calculated this one, this become 3 days here. So now, and here one more catch is, so we should not confuse here. So like third argument is week, not days. So generally we'll follow like year, month, day, but this syntax is not like that. So year, month, week, and day. So next one more example is here what I'm doing, I'm defining only 3 parameters, 3 arguments. So here is from 1 year, 2 months, and 3 days. If you see here, uh, the first one belongs to year. So we are getting 1 years. And second one belongs to months. So here we are getting 2 months. And if you see here, lit 3. So third one belongs to weeks. So lit 3 means what will happen? 7 into 3. So 7 weeks into 3. So we'll get 21 days. Okay, so here since it is 0 and since we have lit 3, we are getting only 3 days. And maybe for same scenario, I will add one more scenario like by adding weeks value. Suppose if I add this one, I will change to df2. This one also df2. And here I will give some 5 weeks here. So, okay, so interval, make interval. Okay. So if I run this one, we'll get 5 into 7 into 5, 35. 35 plus 3, we'll get 38 days. Okay, so this I will change to 3. I will rerun this one. Okay, so now we saw 3 different scenarios. Now, how to create make a how to create interval from years and months. So same syntax I'm using here. So only difference is in make underscore interval, I am passing 3 arguments. The first one belongs to year, that is 1 year, and second one is 2, that is 2 months, and third one is weeks. So 0 weeks means 0 days, and we don't have fourth argument, that is days. So we'll get only 1 years, 2 months. So this is how we can create years and months interval. And third one is how to create an interval from days. So here what I'm doing, make an underscore interval function. I'm passing 3 parameters, but 3 arguments. But if you see lit 0, that means 0 years, and lit 0, that is 0 months, and lit 3, this third one belongs to weeks. So 7 into 3, we are getting 21 days. So we are getting only days here. Next, add an interval to a date. So here what I'm doing is first I'm creating one sample data frame here by using spark.create data frame, and here I'm passing single value, that is list of tuple. So this I have one tuple here, one comma, and my column name is ID. So this code for creating the sample data frame, this piece of code and spark.range one both are same. So on top of this, I am using with column, and my column name is date, and here I'm using to underscore date, and inside that I'm passing lit date value. So this is a string value. Here I provided my custom date string value, and here I'm used to underscore date to convert string to date. So now what I will get, initially I have column name is ID, and row is single row with ID is value is 1. So this one. And on top of that, I created one more column, that is date. Since I used to underscore date, I will get directly date column with this value. So this is converted now from string to date value. So now this code is this one to generate this sample data frame. Now on top of this, what I'm doing is I'm creating new underscore date, and here I'm using expression. In expression, what I'm doing, this date column. So that is this one, this date column. For this date column, I'm adding interval. So what interval I'm using? Make underscore interval, and here I'm passing 1 to 0. So 1 year, 2 months, and 0 days. So here, what is our date value initially? If you see here, initially our date value is 2022 01. And for that value, what I'm adding here is 1 year, 2 months. So now what will happen? This 2022 will become 2023, and this 1 month, this will become third month. Why? Because 2 months we are adding here. And one more thing, why we are using here expression is for this date value. So this date value is date data type. And if you use separately this make underscore interval function, because of data type mismatch, you will get error. Why? Because make underscore interval, this one, it will give you output as interval data type, not date data type. So this conversion in PySpark we don't have available. So because of that, I'm using expression. So to write the code in Spark SQL. So now this date, it is in data type, and this make underscore interval in Spark SQL, it will get same value, date data type. Okay, so suppose if you try to, you will get some idea like already date is there. Why can't we use uh, date underscore add function? Date underscore add function. But if you use that directly, you will get error. So as of now, we have to use this expression function. So next one is create an interval from all these arguments. So here what I'm doing, spark dot range one to generate one row, and on top of this, I'm using select method, and I'm adding one more column, that is interval underscore value, this one. And how I'm generating is I'm using here make underscore interval function, and inside that I'm passing all these arguments. So that means year, months, weeks, days, hour, minutes, seconds. So here 3 weeks means calculation is given weeks, 7 into 3, 21 days. And this is days, that is 4 days. So this 21 plus 4, 25 days. So same thing we'll get. So here one is 1 years, and this 2 is 2 months, and these together weeks and days together will get 25 days, and 6 hours, so 5 hours, and here 6 minutes, and seconds is 7.123 seconds. Okay, so next what I'm doing, I'm creating one more sample data frame. Here what I did, here I used spark dot range one. So here what I'm doing, here I'm using spark dot create a data frame. So here I'm passing single value, that is by using list of list. So here I'm passing single list, that is all the arguments I'm passing here. So year, month, week, day, hour, minute, second, and relevant column names are given here. So it will generate single value. Initially, it will be single value. And on top of that, what I'm doing here is for if you are getting confused, what we can do is here I'll try to add star here. So now what will happen? These columns also will get. So initially our input is this one. So all these columns up to here. And on top of this, I am adding all these columns here. So one is full interval. So full interval means I'm passing all the arguments here. And if you see this full interval, so first one is year. So here 100 is there. So 100 years, and month is this one, 11 months, 11 months. And here week is one. So 1 week means 7 into 1, 7 days. And days is one. So 7 plus 1, 8 days. So we are getting 8 days and 12 hours, 30 minutes, 12 hours, 30 minutes, and this many seconds. Okay. So this is about full interval. And the second column, what how I'm doing is I'm doing without seconds. So no second I mentioned here. And if you see here, year, month, week, day, hour, minute. So this second I excluded here. And if you see at initial, what it is mentioned is if you don't pass any argument, suppose unspecified arguments are defaulted to 0. So this one, it is applicable now here. So here, since seconds is not passed, so our output will be same like here. Only thing is these seconds will we don't get here. If you see here, 100 years, 11 months, 8 days, 11 months, 8 days, 12 hours, 30 minutes, and you don't get this as seconds. Why? Because it is 0 now. And in next column, what I'm doing is here I'm excluding this minute also. So now I have only these arguments, year, month, week, day, hour. So here I excluded the no minute and second. So there is no minute and second column. Now what I will get from the same result, these minutes will get excluded. And if you see here, from this 100 years, 11 months, 11 months, 8 days, 12 hours, and these minutes will get excluded. Okay, so we'll get without minutes and seconds. And next column is no time. So no time is this all these three parameters we are excluding hour, minute, second. So from this result, it will exclude these 12 hours and remaining will get 100 years, 11 months, 8 days. And next, here no day time. So that means time means this one, hour, minute, second, and a day. So this day also we are excluding here. Now, if I exclude this day, what will happen? So first one is 1 week. So 1 week means 7 days. And now since this one day is excluded, now we'll get instead of 8 days, now we'll get 7 days. So now next column is, so next column is this one, year, month. So that means we have only two arguments, year and month. So from this, what will happen? Now these days also will go, you'll get only 100 years, 11 months. And finally, year. So that means only year. So since it is only year, we'll get 100 years. Okay, so next, at the starting, we have one more input. Like if you provide no arguments, then the result is an interval with 0 seconds. So for this, what I'm doing, I am writing spark.range1 and without passing any arguments. So here spark.range1, this is to create single row, and on top of that select make underscore interval, and inside that I'm not passing any arguments. So now my argument session is empty. So for that, what we got, what we'll get is 0 seconds, or interval will get 0 seconds, and alias name given as no argument, that is column name. So next one, create an interval with a mix of components. So here also same conditions what we saw now, but now we'll see in SQL. So select make underscore interval, And here I'm passing only two arguments. So that is year and months. So we'll get 100 years, 11 months. And next select statement is make underscore interval. This is years, 100 years, and see, we are passing here null. So if you pass any single argument null, then your result will null. Okay, so next one is without argument. So we already know that if you don't have any argument, we'll get 0 seconds. And final thing is here I'm passing all the arguments. So here 0 years. So here it's not printing 0, and 0 months. Months also is not printing. So this is week. So this is 1 week. So 1 week means 7 into 1, 7 days. 7 plus 1, 8 days. So first we are getting 8 days, then 12 hours, 12 hours, 30 minutes, and 1.00 seconds. Okay, so here I try to cover almost all the scenarios on how we can use make underscore interval function in PySpark. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.